Welcome to Suncorp Stadium for round 2 of SRL TV here in Brisbane. The Broncos and Knights taking on one another in this one, and the Knights coming fresh off a win that are now sitting temporarily top of the table, while the Broncos look to rebound off a loss against the Melbourne Storm. Ollie Parcher and Eddie Oliver with you for this one. And Eddie, 2 new debutants into these teams, one for each side. David Nuffalingari and Felix Stoder. Who are you most looking forward to out of those?
Definitely is. G'day there, Ollie. Welcome here this evening. I'm looking forward to see Davo Nuffalingari for the Knights. He's been a young, very good prospect down in the mines, and he's earned his way up into the SRL, only actually getting 1 win in his whole Mines career, playing about 2 seasons down there. So he's got a breath of fresh air for the Knights, being given the call up here into the 17. Also Felix Stoder. He's just a world-class effort player. He's got all the effort areas. Jack Carl's brought him in here this evening to help the Broncos perform off the bench.
Yep, he should have some great impact there as Levi Raymond getting us underway here on this one. It's Ash Turner to take the first hit up. Ash Turner, of course, one of the recent signings that Mark Lee had made as he took over the Knights captaincy, and we'll be very happy with how his team performed last week, as we mentioned, as here he goes, making a fend off and already calling Brody Kennedy into action. Of course, we did see some great performance from that back line. Don Ponkston and Mika Rashford contributing beautifully, as here goes Ponkston himself, trying to get through the defense, but the sidestep is cut down quickly. Sadler now over to Vretto to try and make a run up the middle there, but nothing really doing thus far, though he does get the legs churning. Good post-contact meters. Sadler over to Crutcher. Crutcher will elect for the run, but Monkey reads the play, elects to play the ball and not the man, and makes an intercept. That's a good start for Brisbane to shut down the opening set, because we saw that before the Knights were just able to get themselves rolling. This time around, they're cut down early on in attack, and they'll look to spread it right now, Brisbane, with an attempt to try and penetrate the defense. I have numbers here with Raymond, but he doesn't elect to use them. Instead, just takes on the line himself, and it's brought down about 44 short of a line. Here goes Monkey now, who made the intercept. Now looking to contribute further offensively, but only gets about 9 meters. Martin now with a breakaway, and he gets through, but Ponkston, good tackle around the hips there. Brought him down, but on the last. A look right side probably. Seems to be where form was looking. Carr will put up in the air. This is going to be a tough catch for Ponkston near the post. It's off the bar. Monkey's taken it. Oh, it's a bad judgment. It's a poor bounce, and Justin Monkey capitalizes and puts Brisbane in front.
Talk about effort areas. Jack Carl's brought in Felix Stoder, but here's their key man. Here's the enforcer, Justin Monkey. All effort plays all over here from him, running through for the kick, hoping it hits the crossbar. He puts it down on the spot. Suncorp's alive. The Broncos open the scoring here this evening with Levi Raymond to extend the point scoring.
Yeah, Monkey has been a great help for the Broncos. I believe a sophomore this year. Definitely not slumping this time around. Getting himself on the board there, as Raymond will be able to coolly slot this one. And 6-0 Brisbane. Just under 4 minutes in.
You know, definitely there. And they came off the error, the intercept pass. And it was also that man again, Justin. He got them the ball and then he got them the try. But also the lineup here for Brisbane's been shook up a little bit with Chase Williams being taken out the side. We've already spoken about Felix Stoder being brought in, but also Cooper Gronk is expected to play that second row position in the second half, but he's got himself a starting wing spot here. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs here this game.
Yeah, it's definitely tried to throw the cat amongst the pigeons there with the release of Chase Williams. They have also signed another potential replacement for Chase as well. Maliaki has been added as a developmental player and may see them later on as a potential Broncos signing. Bronkved making his run, trying to get down the left flank, but not really much in terms of meters. But there's Martin busting through a tackle attempt from Sadler and ends up running into Ponkston there, but gets themselves into Knights territory. This is what we've seen before, just a breakdown in play where they just run through everyone. And Monkey does the same. The front row is bustling through for big meters. Carl swinging it around for plays. Is not going to go much further than that, though. 15 out from the line. The Broncos already primed for another attack. A look right side here. Carl up top. It's right near where they put one up again, but Connor King had it. He was in play, though, and they try to force him back, but Brisbane aren't able to put him in goal there. Hone King does well to keep the ball in play. But the Knights will have a very difficult time trying to dig themselves out of this hole here. Adler will look to go to the left side rather with Tua. Or To'ua. And he will play it for Murray. Now Vaughan trying to make a run, but Brisbane defense very solid thus far. Nothing really being made here for Newcastle. To'ua will try and get through here with an offload, but he is quickly brought down there. I believe was by Martin. And while they'll be tackled inside their own 30, nowhere really to go here, but Vaughan will have to put the kick in. Does get them chasing back here, but Gronk is able to retrieve the kick. It ends up being brought down by Ali and Sadler. Good front running from that forward pack, and now Brisbane looking to get themselves on the offensive once more with Allison.
Yeah, and a good kick there out of trouble for the Knights. It had to be made, but an intercept here from Sadler. Well, they got themselves out of trouble now even further here with first tackle on the halfway.
Yeah, there's Rashford there, trying a little inside line there, playing a little bit more infield than you'd expect from the winger. Try to put some moves on, but only the offload to Lee and really didn't get that much out of it. Now Vredo will try and make a run. Good post-contact meters once more as that little short ball, I believe, was intended for Carl and just did not come off right. Now Vaughan will take a run here down to the 20. Has a few options available on this potential second last play to Ua, who he was able to regather there. No one from Brisbane really rushed up. They opted to hold the line. Look, probably right side once more. Only two players on that left edge. Vaughan will put the grubber kick in. It takes a bounce off the floor, and Vaughan might be gone here. He's racing away. He's got a great chance to put one all the way. Coast to coast is running. He's trying to serpentine, but he'll get there no trouble. He outraces everyone, and Brisbane with another try against the run of play.
That's all class there from the hooker, James Thorne. He knew what they were trying to do, got in front of the kick, picked it up and just started running. It was off to the races there. You weren't going to catch James Thorne in full flight. The number 7 there was chasing, but it was in vain. And here's another number 7, Levi Raymond, to convert, to extend the scoring in Brisbane. They look to be on the back foot, but just effort plays from the Broncos, just in those key moments, which are just winning them the ball game early here at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it's semi-unsurprising, honestly, to see how much James Vaughan has run those coast-to-coast tries. He's done a couple of them in the past, and mostly for South Sydney, but here with Brisbane, he's shown off his talents once again. And of course, Raymond was easily able to slot yet another conversion from right in front. Crutcher was unable to chase him down there, and Vaughan gives him a 12-point lead. Lee to get us underway once more. It's interesting that they're having Lee be the kick taker here. I suppose he does have his goal-kicking talent, so why not use him for kickoffs as well? I'd expect it to be one of the halves, though. I suppose you can use anyone for kickoff opportunities. It's Martin there taking the first hit up for Brisbane on this third attempt at an opening set. Alice Riff there trying to make a run here. Notably, a very high-earning player. Recently got, I believe, his first upgrade package, but he's yet to spend it, so we'll see if that will come into effect for next round as Allison up to the 40 there. Just driving past it, falling for a little back flick for Carl, who looked for a 40-20 attempt. He's got plenty of space here. Rashford will try and chase this one down, but just letting it roll. What have they done there, Newcastle? No one wanted it.
The ball pulled up and nobody wanted it. They're just walking around it like seagulls. Nobody's wanting it at all here at Suncorp, and they're just going to give the Broncos another opportunity here within the red zone.
As Vaughan might end up crashing over here on the tackle of Redo. We'll have a look. See, it did look like he spilled it slightly, so going up is no try here, but it might have got it down clean. That looks clean to me from this angle. We might get another look at it here. Yeah, that one's down.
There you go.
Just got around the arms of Redo.
Yeah, there you go. And green lights here at Suncorp Stadium. And they're over for the third try. Double early here for James Thorne. Very well done there to him. And again, it just came off of just sort of the Knights not being able to get to the kick. And, you know, the kick was a good one from Jack Carl. I'll give it to him. But, like, it didn't get the bounce. He got unlucky with it. There's two players just standing around the ball, not wanting to have anything of it. And the Broncos take absolute advantage of that error there from the Knights. Yeah,
one might also chalk that up to the history of Hone King just taking 40-20, they've been running for him into touch and not wanting to do the same thing, but it just took that quick bounce to the left and just rolled out into touch there for the 40-20, and Ponkston, Rashford and Dokalik did not do much for that, but also it was just very sloppy marker play as well, as it was Form that took advantage of a not square marker who had to remain out of the play in fear of potentially being professionally fouled for a sin bin, and then Form was just able to crash over past Reto, and suddenly that gives the Broncos an 18-point lead, and a team that had looked so dominant in the past just has suddenly had a win taken out of their sails. Hunt here will take the next hit up, trying to get up to the 30, but not quite there just yet. And we'll crash over now with Kennedy, but Kennedy just has too many bodies in the way. I know how crucial Kennedy has been for a side, but didn't really come into much effect in his previous game. As Raymond here will have a nice rangefinder here. There's a big kick chase coming here, but Ponkston able to wrap his way around it. Got through one tackle, but Gronk forces him over. Oh, that's a great flashback to before. Cooper Gronk once again contributing on defense with a beautiful tackle after Ponkston nearly broke free.
He broke one of Justin players, but then the mighty of Cooper Gronk came, got in front of him, put his body on the line. Look at this, breaks one, gets in front of him, drags him over the sideline there. That's all class there from Cooper Gronk. The Knights, they're not getting calls going their way. The ball's not bouncing in their favour at the moment. And that's sort of what they had last week, just being on the front foot constantly. They're not in that position here. They need to show a bit of resilience and grit to just turn this game around.
Yes, here goes Kennedy now trying to get by Ponkston. Got an offload away. Fawn, and he'd been able to break that tackle. May have had a hat trick, but he was swarmed and ends up being brought down just shy of a 10. Raymond slots into acting half. Hunt out for Deuce, trying to get through here, but just tackled 5 shy. Look left side now of Kelly. A risky ball there for Raymond. Flow one up again for Monkey. Monkey might try and crash over for his own double doing the tackle. And he should be held up here. They will look. Ponkston just saying to stay back here. Be ready for it. Yep, clearly turning his back there. Not sure why the referee has gone up with try. Perhaps just had no angle. Now we look to see perhaps one final play before they put a kick in. It's just a short one here with Hunt to keep it in the middle of the field. Keep their options open. They go to Carl short side. He might try and crash here, but there's too many bodies. And it'll be a handover here, but will that be at the 10 or will it be 5 out? It will be 5 out. They got given that space. Carl was short of the line. It's Quentin Cotter, who thus far has been relatively uninvolved here, the rookie. Ended up taking that hit up, and now Lee with some space, and he got caught high there. That could have been 10 in the bin, perhaps, for a professional foul, as Lee got an offload off, but might have just been knocked out of her hands there. A sloppy play.
Yeah, it definitely was, and a piggyback penalty there for the Knights to get them out of their own end. They're going to have a 6 tackle set here within the Broncos half. They need to make something of it. They need to get some points. They need to strike back because the Broncos are keeping pace with the clock here.
Yeah, though they might just end up having the clock take advantage here with about 10 seconds left on that as Vaughan. Oh, great intercept there by Carl. He cut it out beautifully again, and he might just be home free. No, he's wrapped up, though. Just about 33 out, though, 2/3 of the way back. And now Allison out to Gronk. This is a risky play
Good
here.
tackle.
Deja vu. Johnny Dokalik forcing him over.
Taking over the sideline there. Cooper Gronk. He was winding up the big fella, but somebody who's a bit taller, standing at 220 centimeters tall, Johnny Dokalik, straight into touch there. There's no better player under the ball, but seeing those two big colossus right there match up, what a sight it was.
Leave a plural there as Colossi, Eddie. As Turner will take this run here, just past the 30. Sadler will flick it over to Lee. Lee fends off one and now has a lot of breathing space. Trying to get through here. The backs are coming, but it's still a good 50-meter gain. They needed that one. It was Raymond, rather. Still half. Could be considered a back in some extent, but still good coverage defense. It's Tu'ua making a great bit of meterage there. Now trying to put them right on the doorstep here. They haven't really had much of this of the Knights. Now they look right side potentially. They do that with Vaughan. Vaughan will flick the attack over to the left. A lot of Broncos bodies underneath it. And the first one to it is Deuce, who puts a step on, then puts a fend on, and nearly tries to break through another, but ends up being brought down just in line with a 30-meter arrow. O'Kelly now, a little short side raid going on here with Raymond. They have plenty of numbers, but not enough space. And quickly they were brought down. Kelly now tried to put another step on, but ended up being met heavily there. Changes have been made for Brisbane by the looks here. They have brought on Ryan Wilmette and Jake Scott. Wilmette will be a potential impact player, former Blue Tongue. Plenty of experience as Raymond there, nearly through, but will be tackled shy of a 30. Likely does mean no attacking kick option, especially with Raymond out of a play, so Hunt will just elect to send it crossfield to Rashford. Rashford might have a little bit of space here, but good tackle there by Justin Plays. Experience coming through against the rookie.
And he's been watching a bit of footage from last week's game that Justin Plays. Miko Rashford, he got a double from that area. But this time they're on top of him. They know how dangerous he is. He was written off before the game. He proved his doubters wrong. But the Broncos are coming here this evening to put a target on him.
Yep. I mean, we saw that they were kicking towards his end a few times. They did make that mistake of letting that 40-20 go. The can't technically put the blame all on him, as Lee here will put a long kick in. There's a lot of space around here. This might dribble towards the in goal. Kennedy doesn't run into the in goal, but is met heavily by Dokulik and Rashford. Oh, goodness, that is a tough hit to swallow. But thankfully, he stood tall against it. Hunt on the second. Look to flick it left side now through the captaincies of Carl and Allison. Pass for 20, but this seems like a similar shutdown set we're seeing from Newcastle until that moment when we're able to find Hunt and get him rolling. He's going to be tackled just shy of halfway by Ponkston, but he's going to be holding him down there. That is a silly penalty to give away on tackle 4.
That's silly. They were coming out of their own half. They had a nice line break, but they still weren't over the halfway yet, the Broncos. They would have been kicking from within their 40. But a silly penalty, as you said there, Ollie, from Don Ponkston. Didn't have to be made. They had plenty of time. There was heaps of grass behind them. And they just allowed the Broncos to come into their own half here.
And now it's a huge opportunity for Brisbane to just put the pedal to the floor now and put themselves up 22 or 24, depending on results here, as Kennedy, or maybe 20, but I don't really see them taking the 2 with the 3 scores, but maybe if they want to make it 4. And we'll swing it left for Carl and Allison again. Similar play, almost similar result there, as eventually brought to ground by Crutcher and Dokulik. Kyle now will take the run himself. It does mean he opens himself up for a 5th tackle kick here. Oh, but a bad bounce off Wilmer. They won't call that knock on. The Knights have their hands in the air, wondering how that is a penalty or an error even. But Wilmer scooped it back up and took it himself for the score.
Welcome to your second game of the SRL, Ryan Wilmette. You're over for your first try, brother. Congratulations to you. It's been wonders commentating you in the mines, and maybe a falcon potentially there. The ref calls play on. It's been a pleasure commentating on the mines, and it's amazing to see you here in the SRL scoring tries like that.
Do you want to go to the sideline and get on your knees or something? Because, Jesus H. I've never heard so much simping in my life.
Well, I think it might have simped a bit to the ref as well for that call to be given away.
It might have been
there
off the shoulder. That's what I'm thinking it could have been, because it is technically the arm has to play at it. So I think because it hasn't been that case, I know that rule can sometimes be contentious.
Yeah, the bunker definitely didn't look at it. They just brushed it by with only the one replay on screen. So either way, the Broncos extend their scoring 24-0. Just not keeping pace with the clock here. 26 gone at Suncorp, and well, what a game the Broncos are putting together here this evening.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of sloppy pass there from Carl to just dump it off there for Wilmette to take the hit up. Of course, it's really been the game of the forwards thus far. I mean, the 4 tries have all been scored by forwards. Monkey, 2 by Fawn, and 1 by Wilmette.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's all been forward so far here, and it was 2 Thorn, 1 Monkey. And 1 there to Wilmette, the previous try scorer. And, well, what a game they're putting together, and the backs are looking to get involved here.
Yep, there's Kennedy now trying to put a little bit of a dance on, but Ponkston that time dancing is shut down as Wilmette now. A lot of break opportunities here. Ponkston had to really get on his high horse to get there, but the attacking kick opportunities have opened up here with him 20 out. Much right 20 out. Carl will look like to the bottom here. It's right near the post again. They're living in fear, but Hone King that time takes the mark. And that will be a 20-meter restart there. 7 tackle set for Newcastle. Maybe this is their chance to generate some momentum here with Cherney and Christie, I believe, have come on here for Turner and Cotter.
Yeah, they've got a big job here, these two interchange forwards. They've got to get upfield. They've got to take it to these Brisbane interchange forwards here. They've already started running amok against this defensive line, and they need to open up the middle, just slow down the markers, and just get some fatigue into this Brisbane forward pack.
Oh, well, we're seeing the momentum being kind of countered there as Pongson was brought down in a hefty tackle there. Now they're looking to convert left side. Vaughan and Ben Sadler into acting half. Lee had a lot of space there. Oh, but that's a horrible ball. Carl gets it and
oh, he's got time.
God here. Redo misses. There goes Carl. They're back in pace with the clock. And another one for Brisbane.
Mark Lee's trying to do it all. There's nobody else out there putting in more effort than Mark Lee for the Knights. He's doing everything. He's running line breaks. He's throwing passes. Just a Hail Mary ball there. Jack Carl gets around one. He's gone this time. The Broncos captain underneath the sticks to extend the scoring. And I'm just talking about Mark Lee. He's been amazing so far this game. You can't write him off. He's doing everything. He's playing his skin out for his jersey. He's just forcing his hand just a bit too much there, Ollie.
Yeah, I mean, he is the captain and trying to lead by example there, but you're trying to force the issue far too much as Levi Raymond will put the kick through 5 seconds behind where it should be. In terms of trying to keep pace, though, I mean, 2 more scores here, and you'd imagine that, I mean, you could probably put the game to bed at this point.
Well, you probably could, but if the Knights can find the attacking class and flair that they had against the Penrith side last week, they can put on some points. And if they get given an inch or just something goes their way here late in this first half, it could be game on.
Yeah, though, I mean, right now there just have not been much signs of life. Carl over to Riff. Very slow play right now, though I'm sure Brisbane are content with that. I mean, if we just run out 49 minutes, why not? But Kennedy will try and put more pressure on them. Forces another tackle. This feels like a very similar play we've seen before, where he gets up to about 46 out before Pongson is able to make a tackle. Scott for Fawn. Short ball there for Hunt. Hunt fires one out for Allison. Allison is able to beat Vredo. Then an offload for Wilmette. He'll try and get by Sadler. Can't do so, though. Had some assistance as well. But it's 10 out from the line. Bomb opportunities available here. Carl will like to grab her instead of Kennedy! Oh, it's been a while since that's happened. But it's yet another try. And Brisbane, I mean, they're just running away with this.
He's been waiting for that one, Ollie Pache, to scream the words of Kennedy here at Suncorp Stadium in the New Jersey this season for him. And he's looking to pick off where he left last with the Eels. On point there. He might have been offside. The ref, they're not going to check it again. They'll get one extra replay. We'll have a quick look.
Bang on.
It's bang on there.
Perfectly. And beat Tua to the ball. Pongson wasn't able to come around in time. And, well, given Raymond to defend the hash marks, this should be 36-0.
It definitely will be. And, well, now they're in front of the clock, the Broncos. Raymond to convert 36-0. This could get ugly real quick here for the Knights.
Could? I think it already has.
This could get further ugly here for the Knights, Ollie.
Yeah. They might just have to go into damage limitation at this point because it does feel like this might be a write-off. I mean, they're nearly into negative point differentials already. They won their last game by, I believe, 38, and now they're down by 36. It's been a huge change in fortunes for them.
It definitely has. And I was talking about on SRL 360, I wanted to see the resilience of this Knights pack. And they did amazing against the Panthers. I'm not going to write them off for that. Nobody expected it, and I didn't expect it myself. But what I wanted to see after that performance is how they'll do under pressure. And the Broncos put them under pressure early here, and they haven't been able to take anything back from it or just fight back.
Yep, it just has been very little they've been able to put up so far as about 6 minutes left in the half here, and Brisbane just feel like they've had all ball and all the momentum, and pretty much everything has gone their way. Very little positive signs there for the Knights. So there's perhaps one there off an error from Warren Wilmette. We saw that connection before, nearly resulted in an error off the opening kickoff, and that time it does. Now Newcastle with potential to work away. Sadler for Crutcher. Now Christie. Takes on the line, but again, not getting very far. Sadler will swing it out for Ta'ua. Again, it's just every time it feels like, at least for these forwards, they just have not been able to really penetrate the line. Lee has been able to do that, but not in the case of everyone else on the Newcastle team. There's not seen much from Cotter, but there's Pongson there, making a step, now takes on Kennedy. Now they have another shot inside the 10, but last time it resulted in a try going the other way. How do they play it this time? Vaughan will elect to put up a bomb here to the left side. Again, there's bodies. Murray's underneath it. Murray has nowhere to go, though. There's about 5 Broncos surrounding him. It is nearly forced over the sideline. Still a handover, but Brisbane able to snuff that opportunity out, even with a 5th tackle kick being claimed there, but we won't be able to dwell on that much as Riff here trying to break through off the opening run there. It's about 30 meters for his trouble. Again, it's just been all of that Brisbane pack just romping through. There goes Allison once more, but that pass was too much of a forced issue. Rashford breaks through here. He's through the forward line himself. Rashford and Kennedy. It's a little foot race. Kennedy gets back, though, but put to rest. About 13 out from the line. They'll look to his wing now. Pongson for Crutcher. Crutcher had Redo on his outside. Didn't elect to use him. They're back inside the 10 here on tackle 2 this time. Rashford, long ball out for Pongson. Could have been intercepted. Nearly was. Just going to be brought down, though, about 3 short. Sadler, long ball over top of Vaughan. Crutcher, and finally Newcastle breaks through. With 2 minutes to go in the half, they finally strike.
There's that attacking flair that they've been missing. Spreading the ball there, and credit due to them there. They ran through the middle with Miko creating havoc, and then also just some settler balls. And then going out wide, they deserved that one. They stretched them thin. It was pretty much 3-on-1 there. And well done there. He's mark clear to convert, and you need to be getting these here.
Yeah, it's a difficult conversion, but it's a precise kicker, and he swings it from left to right and converts that one to at least make it a reasonable scoreline, though I mean, some people would already consider it unreasonable by the time it was already at 24, so at least it's not a donut that they're seeing there.
I'm going to be interested for halftime to come around. The Knights, they need to hold out, but also what I'm most excited for is to see Ollie Parche deep dive into these spreadsheets and these statistics here at halftime, because what a first half the Broncos have put on here for their fans.
They've done exceptionally well in doing that. I mean, we'll kind of look at the meters in about, well, during the halftime break, and Turner will try and put a little bit more of a board here. They have brought on the starting props here for one final go at it. Sadler there taking advantage of a not square marker, takes on Kennedy himself. Just powering through here. They do have a little bit of time. They might have time for one more, maybe 2 plays. Vaughan will flick it out to Cotter. Cotter's got to get up quickly, though, off this. Can he get up in time? We will not be able to do so, and we'll go to the break. Brisbane leading Newcastle 36-6.
Pan 5.
And welcome back to the second half of this round matchup on Simulation Rugby League TV. Ollie Parcher and Eddie Oliver joining back with you. And Eddie, I mean, we were looking through the stats as you had mentioned earlier on, and Jack Carl has been an absolute monster.
A monster indeed he is for the Broncos. Just turning this Knights defensive outfit into a demolition site here this evening, running for 200 meters. There's nothing better than it, but also the unsung hero for this Knights outfit, the captain, the leading enforcer, Mark Lee, running for 148 meters for them. And he's just not the only one. James Thorne as well for the Broncos, but also only playing 21 minutes, running for 78 meters. Lachlan Martin, he's back on the field here, and here he goes.
Yeah, Martin immediately breaking through there. Just starting on, he might have cracked the century already. It might raise the ball here, but should probably play it first, as Thorne there will play it over for Allison. Mossad will take a run here, and he's going to get some good post-contact meters against Redo. About 10 out from the line. Forward now, over to Carl. Carl will put up the bomb here. Who's underneath it? It's going to be battered back here. Four will sweep up a pot, and he might go through
good
again.
tackle.
But good tackle there. I believe that's Turner just shutting things down.
Is dangerous there. James Thorne got around one, but then the desperation tackle there from Turner had to be made, and they just had to hold out there the Knights. They need to be next to score.
Yeah, I mean, one would think they pretty much need to go on a 30-point unanswered run to be able to tie this game up. They can't allow any more Brisbane momentum, because you do that and you probably give them an extra 2 minutes with the ball, and they probably can't afford much more of that, as here's Murray trying to break through the tackle there, but this will be shut down there primarily by Raymond. They over to Vaughan and now to Desco. Desco getting his first run of this game past halfway. Now we'll look to the right side with Crutcher, putting a kick deep there. Tending for plays there, who's moved over to a wing now. Marks there into acting half. Four now over to Martin. Martin, well, if he hadn't passed 100 meters, he probably has now. It's just brought down there by Vredo out of some good post-contact work. Carl there, another short ball, that time out for Stoder. He believe it's his first touch here in the SRL, so he'll enjoy that little bit of a run there, getting them up to halfway, as now they'll switch the angle for Riff. Riff getting just to the 40 there, perhaps. Eventually Fawn will play it. Short ball there for Raymond. Little crash play attempted to get them on the inside with Deuce. Shut down there, 35 out. Fawn took a bad bounce there off of, believe that was Stoder, then for Hunt, and they just end up having to collapse that play with Martin, and he'll be tackled and forces the handover.
Yeah, and they weren't able to find a playmaker there, the Brisbane Broncos, but they're going to back their defense either way. They didn't really try force the offload when the pass didn't go into the right hands. But also on the field now is Davo Noffling-Gowie here for the Knights as well. Congratulations to you. Welcome to the SRL, brother. You're going to go a long way here, and it's going to be amazing to see how you go. And also Felix Stoder, already mentioned by yourself there, Ollie.
Yep. We haven't seen much of Noffling-Gowie yet, but that's unsurprising. He's playing there in the centres in place of Johnny Dokalik, though seeing him in the front row later on will be something that will be potentially feared there by the Brisbane pack. It's hard enough to tackle a 7-footer when he's a back, but when he's playing as a front row and getting a lot of early ball, it's a very different story.
Oh, no.
There's a cheap penalty given away there, I believe, by Raymond.
I was on fifth tackle.
Pretty much just a tackle reset there, given it's just going to be a tap kick taken there by Lee. No need to try and make it a 28-point game, of course. One dreads to think. Crutcher. Getting a little forceful run through, but only gets about 5 out. Lee will fire it over for Tedesco. Short ball there for Vredo, but free Broncos defenders there on that far side. Get to him and bring him to ground. Lee over to Cotter. Cotter took a bad bounce. Crutcher regathers. It's going to be another set. Was ruled played at that time, but I'm not sure if it was. Just some recurrence from last time out as Rashford here. Rashford is one-on-one. Will eventually be held up there, though. It was by plays. Lee will fire it out there for Tedesco, and now Vredo may have had the space. Christie might try the space himself, and he might have crashed over here.
Definitely a very close one there, Alex Christie. The goalpost is in the way. We're gonna get another angle here. Kennedy, one-on-one. There, Christie with that man, Felix Stoder. He's a big body to handle, Christie. He did well to get short, and it was very good ball movement there from the Knights. Crossfield moving the defensive line around, and they just found a big body of one-on-one to drive there next to the sticks there for the Knights.
Yeah, just ran through it, no trouble. I try to combine trouble and problem there. And Stoder, I mean, it's a tough thing to defend. Especially, given you've only had about, 9 minutes of SRL experience. Other Knights opening up the second half. With that try, but, I mean, you consider how quickly they'd have to score in terms of pace, and they just are slightly behind it right now. They'll need to try and fire back in these next few sets as Raymond gets us back underway here. Vaughan with a bit of a long run there. Probably was further up there than what Cotter will get. The Cotter's post-contact meters getting him about 23 out. Now Crutcher over to Ponkston. He's going to be tackled shy of a 30. Good swarming defense there. Able to shut down the fullback. Crutcher out there for short side. There's Nofalengawi getting his first run. Does put on a step and about good 10 meters for his troubles. Lee fires a long ball over to Crutcher. Cotter will take the run up the middle. Might open up a kicking option here on this fourth tackle, given their position. Lee will go to Vaughan. That's exactly what they do. He was inside. If the wingers aren't back, but the bounce does not go their way. Oh, Kennedy got a little bit confused by the second one. That did regather and is brought down pretty suddenly there. Now Deuce firing over from acting half to Riff. On now. A little short ball over the half.
Good
break
run.
through here. Good run indeed. It's past halfway and Ongston again called into action to make the tackle. Raymond just met by a pair of defenders and able to get many that time. Allison will attack Vredo once more, though not able to beat him on that right edge. On to Carl. Carl, he was hit early there. Hit early rather, and just lost the ball that time. And Vredo regathered. It will mean a spare tackle for the Knights on that one. So some good rush on the kick there, and does create some opportunities here for Newcastle. Like 7 need to attack in these next few sets, and here they go. Got 45 out from the line. Perhaps could have been called there for held-in tackle was Martin, but nothing called on that occasion. Ponkston now driving along the numbers. Lee for Vredo. Lee did move into that hooker role. Has been the standout player for the Knights so far. Lee had clocked the most meters out of anyone, even against his usual meter gainer, hooker Bo Sadler. Lee Cotter was not communicated what the play was there. Was trying to play blocker, but ended up just nearly receiving it himself. And, well, that attack just falls by the wayside. Plays did put a step there on Ponkston, but was eventually chased down there. Now Raymond over for Martin. Martin past halfway.
Yeah, no, and it's calmed down a bit here from both sides. Sort of unforced errors and a few forced as well. Both sides not getting to their fifth tackle options, and that's sort of just putting the game in the balance. But here goes Simon Hunt. Offload again.
He tried an offload there, and it just sat up in the air. Vredo pounced upon it. And that was a potential opportunity to put themselves back into that 30-point margin, but cushion does fade that time to Ua. Play it for Murray. Now converting it over for Lee. Lee met heavily there by Martin. Just shy of halfway. Now Nofalengawi again trying to put a step on that time. I believe that was on Carl, but again, just stop there. The markers were not square. Lee did not take advantage. Cotter probably hasn't put them in enough of an opportunity to get them back as Lee now over for Crutcher. Crutcher a little chip kick there, but no one there to fall for it. Plays, does get through one. Ponkston was playing there as second line of defense though, and is able to bring him down. We'll have to quickly retreat to prevent any potential line break, especially on the short side right here. Allison out for Kyle. Got an offload out before Rashford. Nearly through again,
Good
but
run.
that time is brought down and is dragged back, and it's shy of a 30. Barn puts a shoulder in.
Watch
and
out.
Lays the Knights defender out. I didn't catch who it was there, where we're seated, but definitely feeling the full brunt of that one. Marks over for Carl. Now for Allison once more. Allison does charge forward and gets about 15 out before he's tackled. Carl just able to snag that pass. It was a little wayward. Knights players waiting underneath it. It's going to be King who collects it and will be able to settle the nerves a little bit there. But Elliot now are gone and not much of a way of a Knights attack. Or at least in terms of his current field position. As Vaughan now for Cotter. Cotter breaks through here. Got an offload away. It was a risky one. It did end up with Tedesco. I think Tedesco was the one that got run over there by Lachlan Martin. So we needed to ID that. That's who it was. Of course, thankfully we have sound that the body is still alive and kicking. Tedesco there taking the last run of this night set, but not much really lost or gained there. Just a rather neutral one by most standards as the kick there plays does put on a step there, but it's Crutcher who recovers and makes a tackle. Marks into acting half. And Hunt now again is breaking through here. Got an offload. Well, it wasn't really an offload. It was just a pass out to Fawn. Fawn tackled there, about 45 out. Kennedy now for Allison. Allison meets Vredo. It's been a matchup that we've seen quite frequently, and it's probably a matchup that you see very often. The left side second rower trying to beat the right, as it looks like the Knights have made their changes. Cooper Gronk has come on here. He is coming in that front row spot. I mean, that Martin is off, but we should see him return in due course to potentially replace Simon Hunt here. Allison. Tackled just out inside the 20 rather. Carl, a bad grubber there. Wasn't even a grubber. He just lost it straight up. Christie scoops it up and will take it to just outside the 40. We're probably going to come off here soon as well. We see some of the forwards getting ready. Monkey. He's just come back on perhaps. Or he might still be on rather. And he makes a huge intercept. Just claiming that one. Or he has come back on, it does seem. And Allison now making a run down the left edge. And they are really just forcing the issue here. Brisbane, again, just trying to tighten the screws here, perhaps. If they can get to that 30, it would very likely seal the win. Probably seal a few other things as well. As Kennedy will be tackled inside the 10 here. 2 plays to try and create something. It's Carl who'll take the run here. He's knocked himself out of a 5th tackle option as he just short of a line. Might try a crash over here with 4, and then he does. He wanted it, but he will be shut down. The Knights stack the box well and prevent another try for James Thorne.
Well read there by the Knights' defensive line. They knew that Thorne was going to try and go for his hat-trick here at Suncorp. Unfortunately, he didn't get there for him, but a good opportunity for the Knights. Doklich on the field, a big body in the forwards, as well as for the Broncos there in Cooper Gronk. It's going to be interesting to see how those two will come together.
Yeah, they're trying to work in cohesion right now, Newcastle. Getting Rashford rolling once again. A look right edge with Crutcher. And just not really much being generated there. But there goes Rashford again. Rashford did get a Kennedy miss, but that was primarily because I believe it was Martin that made another tackle. The Tedesco here will pop into the kicking duties. That one's up in the air. Kennedy launched from the field of play, but is brought back in to the in-goal area. And that will be a goal line dropout.
Yeah, it was very close, that one. My thought that he jumped from in the in-goal and then took it in the air. But nonetheless, the ref says jumped from in the field of play, and then they get a repeat set here. The Knights within the Broncos territory.
Yeah, Crutcher now for Ponkston. Ponkston again breaking through here. Oh, nearly had it, but Kennedy there with some help defense. Okay, now I'm going to be stuck on the goal line here with a lot of time. Doklich, the big body, probably was trying to space jam his way over. Lee now for short ball to Turner. Turner will be turned over, and that Turner will mean a held up call. Lee will spread it wide here with Vaughan and then Doklich again. It's going to be about 4 short this time. Lee will go to Vaughan. Vaughan a grubber. It's a good bouncing one, but Riff was able to claim it and he'll keep it in the field of play as well.
Well thought out grubber there from the Knights, and Tallis Riff picks up the crumbs. Now they're making their way of their own end. 13 to play. They haven't scored yet, the Broncos, and that's going to help the Knights.
Yeah, that's a huge play there. That error, Mark Lee claiming it. We were talking a little bit during the break about how the errors that Brisbane have created, in spite of being more nearly have been not as detrimental as Ponkston eventually crashes down. And I believe it should be a try. The referee seems to think so, and he has done it through the arm of Martin. And the Knights just making things a little bit interesting.
Yeah, they definitely are. And he was hanging up there for a bit, Dom Ponkston. He's live wires wriggling around. Martin lost his grip a little bit underneath the shoulder there. Fell away. Ponkston falls over. And Mark Lee to make it 36-18, which I wouldn't have expected the Knights to come back this far. But also, something that surprised me as well, the Broncos just falling off here in the second half, attacking-wise.
Yeah, though, I mean, it might just be them just trying to conserve their energy, knowing that it is one of the longest seasons they'll have to go through, as well as not having a bye. I mean, it's going to be a tough slog to get through all of this, and so it's rather unsurprising that perhaps they might just be saving their energy, knowing that, hey, let's just try and secure a win here. We need one. As Raymond here will try and get things started once more. 11 and a half minutes to go here, but still 3 scores for the Knights to try and get 3 converted tries even. Try and make this one perhaps go to Golden Point. We've rarely seen it. We've only seen 1 or 2 games in SRL history ever go to Golden Point, even including exhibition games. I mean, my mind currently flashing back to the Australia World game that we had as a curtain raiser of the grand final. What a game that was, as Pongson trying to show that he might have a potential for international duties, breaking through once again, this time past the 40. Might open that kicking opportunity again here. Crutcher, it's good. It might be a bit too long. No, it's perfectly weighted, and a 40-20. The second one that we've seen this game.
Yeah, no, it is. But that time, Ash Crutcher showing he can do exactly what Jack Carl can. And straight over the 20 then, even past the 10 as well. Well done there to Ash Crutcher. Put the Knights back into the red zone here of the Broncos.
Yep, and now they're going to try some short ball plays here. Try to get through there with Vaughan, but the half was not the way to do it. Leos, that is a horrible pass. Ash Turner is trying to distribute that like a newspaper. And Deuce was easily able to intercept. Somehow they brought that backwards. I did not think that was, but either way, Brisbane get a huge let-off after that 40-20 attempt. I mean, I believe Brisbane did score off theirs, but Newcastle have not. And Gronk now getting a lot of space. Great ball out for Allison. Now they're getting it wide here for Marks, but eventually the coverage defense will get to him. Brisbane put themselves right back on the attack, just outside Newcastle's 40. Monkey with a run this time. Out to Carl and plays for a little bit of space on the wing there, but it was quickly shut off there. Plays now for Marks into the acting half. Carl will just elect to punt here. No need to take any unnecessary risks as King will be brought down. 15 out from the line. Yeah, they needed to make sure that there were no kick return tries. We saw how dangerous it was before when they took on Penrith, and I feel like Brisbane has done a very good job of just not allowing that game to flourish in any form. The defense has been solid in that regard. In fact, I mean, the only real kick return that we saw was James Fawn. That was off the grubber kick, not someone you usually expect to see. So I feel like both defenses deserve credit for how they've been able to limit the return game.
You know, definitely. There's a bit of miscommunication in the middle here. The ball's flying off people's heads again. But 5th tackle here for the Knights. I'll be looking for a good kick.
Yeah, they probably only have the option of punting, and that's exactly what Matthew Vaughan elects to do. Just down to Kelly this time. Kelly tried to put a little shove there and did get through one tackle, but was eventually brought down. And yeah, it does just seem like they're trying to slow the pace of the game. Kennedy, that was a hefty shot there. I just get a little bit chippy in these final few minutes. Monkey now, he makes another run through here. Got plenty of space this time. The offload intercepted there. And a good play for Nofalengawi.
Yeah, Justin Monkey there forcing his hand. Nofalengawi on the spot for it. He got in between the outside chasers of the Broncos there, so no pass could be put on. It had to be a kick or just hold the ball. Either way, the Knights get the ball back. Maybe a bit too far to convert. The clock's running down, and the Broncos are looking very confident to take it away here.
Yep. I mean, this was looking like it was going to be an absolute rout, but the Knights have at least made it close, and I'm sure some 19-plus fans will be very disappointed. So, of course, they do still have 3.5 minutes to potentially change that outcome. As that kick, it's got to bounce. There's Kennedy. He ran over someone, but now here comes the return game. No, he's going to be shut down there. We're able to run him down, which is rather surprising, but man, I'm sure that could have been something that they will regret not only not being able to take advantage of the opportunity, but potentially even just shutting it down there for a repeat set. They let Kennedy escape and giving Brisbane another opportunity here to perhaps widen that margin. Of course, their points differential will at least stay in the positives given the trouncing they laid on the Panthers previously, but similarly, Brisbane will, I believe, remain in the negatives. So even with this 18-point win, thanks to the point differentials, I believe Brisbane are going to remain behind Newcastle in the standings. Raymond's kick will be down to the wing of King. King puts on a step. Does eventually get himself to just about the 29. Or is eventually brought to ground. Here's Christie. Just trying to perhaps run out the clock here in this final set. Now for Dokalik. He's nearly able to burst his way forward, but that's going to be brought down there by Riff. Over to Vaughan and now to Ua. Just trying to make as much meters as he can in these final few minutes. Vaughan now fired out for Murray. Murray a step. Murray will try and cut it in field here. But Kennedy did get to him. So did Riffin help. Not easy to see who they are on this inside of a ball. There's the penalty given away. Trying to reposition for an attack, and that has not gone well.
All right, that's going to be the game there, I believe.
Well, still one more play.
One more play here at Suncorp, and what a game Brisbane have put together. Just took their foot off the pedal here in the second half, but they deserve the win. What a class they put on the first. It was all class across the field, and it's a team effort here this evening. Yep,
a huge 36-18 win for Brisbane. They put the screws to them early on, but I'm sure the Knights will be content with a few of the silver linings there. We're able to shut them down in that second half, and I mean, it was a scoreless 40 minutes at the end there, though. I mean, it's not something that is kind of one of that tug of war as James Vaughan. I mean, he had the double. Unsurprisingly, it would be that player of the match for that grading, but I mean, we will see how the MVP points go on later on. And we look at the errors there, 12 errors to 7, rather surprising. Though the main stat I would look at to show the domination there is that line break, 43-27.
That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, a line break every 2 minutes is unreal.
Yeah, that is huge there for the Broncos.
Got to look at the stats here. Jackson Allison over 200 meters.
Wow.
Nearly everyone got a line break. The only ones that didn't were Stoder and Scott. Jack Kyle there with 3 try assists and 1 try. 4 errors, though. Some of them you might chalk up to Ryan Wilmette. So that will be something to investigate for the future, though. I have to say, it was a very class act from him to have 4 scoring involvements. That'll shoot you up the leaderboard in no time at all. And credit also has to go to James Vaughan there with his 32 tackles and Talos Riff with 28.
Yeah, wow, that's huge. Even though they're always on the attack, that last period, they just showed that they could defend for a long period of time with some tries coming in late there for the Knights, but well done there to the Broncos.
Yeah, as we see, I mean, Mark Lee pretty much...
No surprise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that first half minutes, it would still be his leading when he was playing at the lock forward role. But the error and penalty that he gave away, perhaps showing some ill discipline, 30 tackles as well, though, was working very hard in defense. And, you know, their back still did some work there, Ponkston and Rashford, though definitely not as much as we'd seen from them in previous outings. Christie and Ta'ua also contributed well with their forward runs. And credit to Lachlan Cherney as well. 10 tackles that he made from that prop forward spot is rather surprising and limited action.
Yeah, and also there to Dong Ponkston, 7 line breaks to the man. It was all over the place, and he did his best to try and get them back into the game. 121 running meters, 12 tackles out the back as well. He had to cover a lot of line breaks. He certainly did, but in the end, most of those attempts were in vain, and the Broncos come away with the win, 36-18 here at Suncorp.
Yep, a huge victory for them, and that will see them, both teams, moving to 1-1 in terms of their record. Of course, we mentioned previously that the differential will mean that Broncos will only be at -8, while the Knights, thanks to that huge win they had earlier, will be at a +20. And of course, they do have more matches to come as well. On July 19th, both of them. They will both take trips, with Brisbane heading upstate to face off against North Queensland and Newcastle down south to take on Parramatta. Do join us for that, and also make sure you can tune in for the... Well, actually, no, this is the last game of a round here, so we all need to tune in for the rest of the round. Make sure you tune in for round 3. That probably gives away how we record these. But all that being said, for Eddie Oliver, for Lachlan Martin, and for all of the Simulation Rugby League staff, and for you watching at home, I've been Ollie Parcher, and we shall see you next time.
5.